Hi, I'm Cat Navarro-Lee at the 2026 Dances with Films, and I am here with Mitch and Miriam, the real life dynamic duo couple for Heartworm, which is a feature about navigating grief with virtual reality. So, give me the elevator pitch on this.
What?
Yeah, pressure's on him.
Let's see. Heartworm is a sci-fi drama, sort of rooted in the human heart, that asks big questions about the state of the world, our relationship with technology, and how that relationship is sort of changing the way that we relate to each other, human
That's
to human.
so relevant right now. Very, very relevant in this time.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid technology is going to take over.
Yeah, we've been getting a really strong response from the audience saying, oh my God, we feel the way the characters feel. This is really speaking to the ideas we're at home thinking about. And so we're just so pumped to be sharing it with the audience, bringing it to Dances with Films. You know, It's an
Right.
independent film. This festival is amazing. They champion independent cinema. So it's just
Yeah.
absolutely been fantastic.
Well, congratulations. It's
Thanks,
a
Kat.
huge festival to get into. So tell me about how this idea came about for you.
Oh gosh. Do you want me to
You
try?
can go for it. Yeah, lead, my man.
we let's see, we wrote it like 5 or 6 years ago, and we were really just sort of processing these changes in the world.
Was that like COVID? That was maybe even before COVID.
We started
right?
before COVID. Then we were still in the writing process when COVID hit. We did film during COVID when everyone was doing the testing and the swabbing and stuff. So that was a bit of a challenge for an independent film. But the inspiration came from a personal loss we had. The film deals with grief, and we had a miscarriage early on in our marriage. And as we were sort of processing that loss, we were sort of realizing that it was really hard to sort of connect to people as it related to that, that human to human connection that's so key when you're bereaved or grieving.
Right.
It wasn't quite available to us. And so as we were looking out at the world, wondering what's going on, we started to realize the pervasiveness of technology sort of changing the way that humans behave with each other.
And how they grieve, right? So it sounds like
Absolutely.
it, like learning
Absolutely.
how to process your own grief. And sounds like you guys really took the pain that you had and turned it into something very purposeful.
Yeah, it was helpful for us to sort of deal with it that way and turn it into something more. It's not, the film's not about us by any means. It's the characters are two totally different people. But drawing on those things
Drawing
to
on
make
that
art.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Right. And so it seems like this is something that could be relatable for a lot of people, even if it's not the exact same circumstance. Everybody goes through grief and tries to find a way to process it.
Yeah. The universality of isolation and how people are feeling isolated right now is
And wanting
really
to
resonating
connect.
with
Right.
people. The film takes
Yeah.
that on pretty head on. So
What are some of the biggest challenges that you guys faced when you were creating this? I know there's a lot as an independent filmmaker, right? But
yeah.
maybe just some highlights you can think of and how you overcame that.
You want to go for one, huh?
I mean, I think making independent film can definitely feel like Herculean at points. And I think the biggest thing is just getting the ball rolling. Once the ball
Right.
is rolling, it feels more like you're on the train and you can get it,
Yes.
and it feels like in those moments that it's easier to excuse me, get the little bit of extra money that you might need, or get the I think get the enthusiasm, get those things. And once that's behind you, it's sort of everything feels doable, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like once you have the collaborators in place and then the energy, that spark is all going, you sort of, it's inspiring for everybody. And then it sort of all of the bumps in the road feel so much more manageable because you're doing it as a team.
Yeah,
and things like
and
that.
you started as a team, which I think is great and an advantage already over a lot of people who are by themselves that have this idea and are trying to get someone else to believe in what they're saying.
It's so true. I think as yeah, we do so much of our creativity is sort of flying around all the time, and so it's really helpful for both of us to sort of
Right.
always have that springboard. And when you get used to that, it's so much of what filmmaking is, right? So
Yeah.
it's we're very used to it in our own home.
Was there, I mean, that's definitely a great advantage, but was it ever something that was also frustrating because you're working so closely with each other and with each other 24/7?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging managing a family. We have a couple kids, and managing our relationship. Mara always says, like, our biggest fights are creative, you know?
Mhm.
So
The vision and trying to
Yeah.
work through that with the
But-
differences.
yeah, but what's amazing is because our process is so collaborative between the two of us, even at like the ideation stage of it all, like it feels like, yeah, the whole world isn't on your shoulders. We can sort of tap each other out as needed, and pull each other up and all that great stuff,
Yeah.
which enriches our lives. So
Yeah, and it sounds like the process was healing for you guys, working through the things you had been through.
yeah, I don't know, what do you think, Mara? Like, it definitely sort of,
Or did it
Gave
open
birth-
up some things,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
sometimes when you're leaning into something, it can be healing, but can also open up a lot of things.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think it was the way it's been the most healing is actually just sort of processing the world that we're in right now, in this moment that we're in right now.
Right.
And it's wildly serendipitous, it's like independent film takes so long to get to the screen, there's a lot of, you have to get through all post and all these things, and so this film really is arriving at the moment that we're, as a society, I think we're wondering what chatbots are going to be, these emotional tools that we all of a sudden have, and the film is dealing with all of that stuff head
Yeah.
on. So I think for us, it's been more of a process and processing that and allowing to experience the world through our art in that way.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely dealing with a subject that is very relatable as our world goes through this. It might even be inspirational for some of the creators of these technologies. They're like, hey, that's another angle. We need to lean in more to like these tools to help families get through whatever they're going through in grief.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very, ultimately the theme of the film is very much dealing with human to human connection.
Human to human connection.
How ultimately can, even with these tools, how
There's-
do we support each other
Right.
in this, in dealing in Avina and Mark's case, our lead characters, who are played by Amber Gray, plays Avina, and she's a Broadway actress, and she's just phenomenal in this. And Juan Redinger plays her husband, and they are dealing with their grief very differently.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they, it's about them trying to rekindle their love after such a traumatic loss,
Yeah.
and it's how they both deal with it differently. But ultimately, about how do we come together?
How do we come
not just
together?
through grief, but how do we come together through technology?
Yes. Yeah, I love
in
that you
this-
said that, because ultimately I think that's what people are missing a lot, is that human connection that sometimes gets lost. So a reminder of that there is nothing that can replace that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing better than a hug.
Yeah.
yeah. And if technology is involved, it's like, how does technology like support and nurture our humanness?
Yes.
The things that make us human.
Right,
Not how
right.
does it replace the
Exactly.
things that make
How
us
can-
human.
And yeah, even with like films and all of that, it's just like, as people find these new AI tools, it's like ultimately there's nothing that's going to replace you guys, which is the storyteller, the unique voice.
We're hoping not.
Yes.
On that end, I really don't think that there is. I don't think it's
Right.
possible. I think that stories are unique still, and that needs to come from a human mind.
Yeah.
So that they can all be different, and so much of like performance is like what that one individual brings, the casting process of getting somebody there that is uniquely going to bring that character
Yeah.
to life in a way that
Only-
nothing ever
yeah.
could other than
Exactly.
them, you know, things like that.
Right.
And those moments, you know, I think that's what we all as artists, film artists, live for, are those moments on set when something happens in front of you that is just magical and could never have been
Yes.
predicted and could never have been generated necessarily,
Yeah.
prompted by anything else, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like this film is full of lots of incredible moments like that. you
Yes,
know.
it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And we look forward to seeing it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And we're screening on Sunday at 4, this Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Wonderful.
Tomorrow.
So come out and watch it, guys.